The particular seats which the customer ordered reach the right car at exactly the right time. After being filled up, the car is driven for the first time under its own power. The last manual checks. The ECOS test system reveals whether the car's electrical and electronic circuits are operating perfectly.
Cars have to be patient. They have to wait around for days on end and sometimes even for weeks. In the hot sun, in the rain, in the cold, and in the snow. This means that they have to be reliable year in, year out, and as effective as on their first day, and still look just as smart. In order to create the ideal technical conditions for a long service life, a vast amount of money has to be spent on research and development.
So the postman's been happy days. I've ordered a few parts from Classic VW and Heritage Car Parts. A few cosmetic things with the gear knob and gaiter. I wanted to get like a bit of a retro looking gaiter, so I thought I'd just go for one of the rubber ones. I think they look quite smart with the golf ball gear knob. So they're just cosmetic, and there's a few niggling jobs I've been meaning to do. There's the gas struts on the boot. Fed up with the boot lid keep falling down on my head. So I've ordered a couple of replacement gas struts for that, so I'm going to get those fitted. And also the seat rails, the seat's very wobbly on the rails, so I've ordered some of the replacement clips, which there's two I think each side for the rear section of the rails, and these two here or for the front section, but I'll show you when we're in the car where they fit. They get old and brittle over time. They're only plastic, so they do perish. And these two in particular, I did notice they'd actually fallen out, so the seat's kind of rocking on the base. These go at the front section and they line up the pin which goes when you adjust the seat forwards and backwards. You've got a pin which goes through, which I'll show you when we're back in the car. And that's what these ones are for. This front section here tends to break away, I've noticed. So this is the problem with the boot, which I'm sure many of you will have had owning an old car. As soon as you let go, it just doesn't hold. So a makeshift boot support. Looks like there's been some rodents in here at some point. Oh, I didn't spot that. So these are the original gas struts, which probably might well be the original ones actually. Certainly no life left in them anyway. So let's see if we can replace them. I believe they just clip off these studs built into the body and the boot frame. That's loads better. So yeah, there's a bit of a rock on the chair, so I'm just going to replace those plastic guides for the rails. But before we do that, I just want to have a quick look at this, because it's an easy swap. I just want to see what it looks like, because the old one, even though it's a leather gaiter, it's faded a bit and it's looking a bit old, so I'm just going to have a quick swap over of that, see what that looks like first. There's like a lip, if you can see on this one, where it fits over the plastic part of the console. So I just need to, simple like that, just unhook it all the way around. Job done. It's a new one, simple, straight over the top. Right, it's fitted. I think it's hooked in. Okay. I've got my other gear knob just in the house at the minute, so let's just drop this one back on for the time being. See how it looks. It annoys me, this one, a bit, because that's it doesn't line up now. I did have this on an old Mk2 Golf, and it's difficult to get this top cap out to line it up, but I'll do that at some point. But I've got the new OEM looking gear knob anyway, so that's going to be replacing this one. So, which gear knob do you guys prefer? This one or this one? So all it is to remove a Mk2 seat, it's really simple, it's just one bolt. So you've got the lever to what you lift up to slide the seat forwards and backwards, and that pushes a pin through. And basically you need to remove this nut and bolt here, lift the pin out, and then the seat will slide backwards on the rails and it just slides straight off the back. Now some models do have some plastic trim down these sides to protect the rails. I don't seem to have them on mine, so that's not an issue, but yeah, you just have to make sure you remove those plastic trim pieces first. But yeah, that's all it is, just a single bolt at the front, slide straight off. So just remove that. But of course the seat's still held in place because you've still got the pin which goes through this rail. So to remove the seat, you have to lift the seat adjuster there and slide it straight back off the rails. And there you go. So it's this pin which is holding it in place. So just slide the seat straight back and it'll just come away from the rails at the back, like so. Okay, so the seat's out. Did a bit of a hoover up. So here's the seat. I'm struggling for space in my little garage here, so I've had to just like rest it on the back seat. Just keeping in mind not to get any oil or anything or grease on the seats. But so that's the underside. Doesn't look too bad actually. So that's the mechanism to slide it forwards and backwards, which pulls this bolt. That's what engages the seats when you move it forwards and backwards. Now on top here, that's where the plastic bushing has to sit. You can see the little hole in the top there. So you can see the nasty old one here, which is snapped, which that's the little piece I was mentioning earlier, and that's perfectly fine. So that actually fits into this hole. Trying to work out which way it goes. Yeah, so I believe it goes that way. So first of all, I'm just going to clean out the old grease in here, because it's just going to have loads of grit and everything, so it's not going to run smooth in the rail. So I've finished cleaning out all the old grease and grime from the rails. I've just wiped down these brackets on the seat as well. So I've just put a bit of WD-40 on the spring and these bushings, because that was squeaking a little bit, so that's nice and smooth running now. So I'm just going to apply some fresh grease to the rails and a little bit on this pin. Alright, so let's see if we can fit the seat back in position. You have to engage the rails at the back first. To make sure that the pin's actually out and it's not blocking the rail, and whilst you do it you'll have to engage this lever into the pin as well. And I thought I'd stop the video there because I realised that I've got no footage where I mentioned you had to grease this section of the rail on the seat rail. I did the rear sections but I didn't show this bit, so you can see where it sits on that front bushing. Make sure you grease that rail also, that'll make it run a lot smoother. Back to the video. So once you've got it in position, you can replace this nut and bolt, and that will just stop it from falling off the back of the rails again when you get in to adjust it. So yeah, that's it. It just stops any wobbling on the seat. You can see this one on the passenger side. You can hear it's lifting on that bushing because it's cracked and fallen off, whereas this one, solid. So that's a nice improvement. Thanks for watching.